our players expressed their feelings as individuals and as team members. They helped me see through their eyes how the T-shirt affected their hearts. Once I learned how that network felt about Black Lives Matter, I was disgusted and knew it was completely unacceptable to me. I want to apologize to all members of our team, former players, and their families for the pain and discomfort that has been caused over the last 2 days. Black lives matter to me. Our players matter to me. These meetings with our team have been eye-opening and will result in positive changes for Oklahoma State football. I sincerely hope the Oklahoma State family, near and far, will accept my humble apology as we move forward.
Sweet mullet. All right, I was really distracted by that background and his hair there. Max, I'll start with you. Obviously, Gundy apologizing for wearing the offensive T-shirt, and we know his star running back called him out, Chuba Hubbard. What do you think of him now after this latest video? We saw the video prior that he had with the player where only the player apologized. Where are you on this one?
That was a hostage video. I mean, that's what it looked like, a hostage video, like he was being forced to say it. And you know what? That's a good thing. It is, but it's a good thing. Look, PC culture run amok is usually bad. I'll let Stephen A. laugh it out. Stephen A., am I wrong? Does it look like a hostage video? Yes or no?
No, not at all. Not at all. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's why I'm laughing about it. That's a perfect analogy. It did look like a hostage video. It really did. It really did. Go ahead.
And in this case, it's a good thing that he's a hostage and he's being forced to say these things. PC culture run amok is usually a bad thing because it has the indignation of the mob should not usually have a chilling effect on the speech of others. You know, especially if that indignation is not based on a sober analysis of the facts. But here we have an example of when a sober accounting of the facts leads to righteous indignation and brings about the kind of social pressure that forces bad actors to conform to good behavior. But when I say good behavior, I mean based on standards that reasonable people can all agree on. So, for example, once upon a time in this country, it was okay, once upon a time, to be racist in polite society in many corners of the United States of America. It is no longer okay to be racist in polite society. There were social sanctions against it to the point where you can't do it anymore. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? Mike Gundy supported a propaganda network that usually works at cross purposes with the greater good of the United States of America. And a propaganda network that has come out and disputed the legitimacy of Black Lives Matter is something that, in this case, our broader culture, based on a sober analysis of the facts, can say, wait a minute, that is not okay in polite society. And so, in this case, righteous indignation wins. The social pressure brought to bear is good. The fact that Mike Gundy doesn't look to my eye like he believes the things he's saying, the fact that he's forced to say it in this case is also good because it indicates that this kind of behavior is not tolerated, that there will be social sanctions against it, and that we are making progress in this kind of aspect of the culture wars in a way that all reasonable people can agree.
Well, let me say this. I don't disagree I don't really disagree with anything that you're saying. I definitely think he looked like it was a hostage video. I definitely believe that without question. I mean, he was clearly compelled to be up there, and it was like it was just unbelievable to watch. I mean, you were just looking to see who was behind them saying, you better say this. That's how flagrant it appeared that it looked like a hostage video. Having said all of that, listen, you had on the shirt, One America News, if I remember correctly. That's the name of the network. Again, I didn't know anything about that and what have you. But you're a leader of young men. You're the head coach of a college football program. For you to sit up there and say once you were aware of what the network supposedly or purportedly represents and how people felt about it, well, why didn't you know that before you donned the T-shirt? That's number one. Number two, particularly when you're a leader of young men and you're the head of a college football program. Number two. Number three, and more importantly, it goes to a bigger point in my mind, guys, and Molly, and it is this. Certain parts of the country, and I'm not casting aspersions on any geographical place or anything like that. I'm just being real about it. If we've noticed, Jerry Jones has been conspicuously quiet. And that's something in the days to come we're going to get into. I'm not going to let this slide anymore. Where the hell is Jerry Jones, the owner for the Dallas Cowboys? With all of this stuff going on, he's been conspicuously quiet and absent from the television screen. Why do I bring that up? Because he was the one person during the whole Kaepernick ordeal that said his players will not kneel. They will stand for the national anthem, et cetera, or else. That was his position. So to me, now that the tide has appeared to change, where the hell is he? The reason I bring that up as it pertains to this Mike Gundy conversation is because Jerry Jones is in a place presiding as an owner of the Dallas Cowboys where some people believe you can get away with that down in Texas. Well, Oklahoma ain't too far from that, Marcus Spears. And the way I look at it, when I'm thinking about Mike Gundy, I'm thinking along the lines of this being a guy who did not expect nor anticipate any kind of fallout from the position that he took until his players stood up. And so when you give this video, remember the video came after the conversation with the player, and then after the video, him in concert with the player that made Max and Molly sit up there and raise their eyebrows and say, yeah, that video put me off a little bit.